evening and good morning, everyone. I think almost all has enjoyed the meet. I can see Anna Maria, Dalulia, Anna Maria Mickiewicz, Ivan, Jack Poliser, Lucy, Rafi, Mini, Nandita, Ragesh Chandra, Rahanul Hoke, Rosa Jamali, Roshni Shajil, Santiago Lafania, Shafin, and Olga. Anyway, it's 9 p.m. Indian Standard Time here. We will keep it the time. We will start with the poetry session first. So, sudden change in a program. My daughter wants to inaugurate the poetry session with a poem. This poem is written by my father, late Mr. K M Anthru, who is the founder, editor of this magazine, and in memory of K M Anthru, we have constituted this award and all these functions. So I would welcome Roshni Shajil to recite her poem of my father, and this poem is the last poem he has written. So Roshni will inaugurate the poetry session by reciting that poem. Roshni.
Okay. Today I'm going to recite the last poem of my grandfather. The eyes of the heavens shine through the stars. The onset of the moon solaces the heart. The amber flowers laugh, yet you did not come. Now the sky darkened in front of my eyes. Darkness grows. Thank you.
Wonderful. Lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you, Roshni.
Thank you.
Now we will go to Ragesh Chandra. Ragesh Chandra is associated with Literature Redefining World for a long time. In fact, we had published one of his books also as an experiment. He is a former civil servant from Lucknow. He has got 3 or 4 English collections also. So as he is very active in Facebook, I don't think there is much introduction needed for him. So I welcome Ragesh Chandra to present his poem, Cherry Blossoms Are Smiling. Mr. Ragesh ji.
Mike.
Good evening and good morning to all of you, the renowned poets, and you are the main, you see, the force behind this program. So, the title of my poem, I love cherry blossoms very much. The poem is Cherry Blossoms Are Smiling. The scenario lies in Japan. I saw a picture and then I wrote a poetry about that. The violet flowers of cherry blossoms are kissing the rough exterior of the towering pagoda and are looking with great expectations at the sky azure. The enchanting greenery around is flanking the serene water of mesmerized pond. The whole atmosphere is sparkling in rainbow colors. This is a time to rejoice and feel the bounty of nature in abundance. We are the 3 damsels sitting on the wooden bench alongside the calm waters, cooling our hearts and souls in the pleasant surroundings. Our colorful kimonos are embellishing the nature's canvas. Behind us, the enchanting shadows of green vegetation and the smiling cherry blossom flowers are shimmering in broad daylight. Nature has woven a magical web, and nobody wants to get out of its soothing embrace. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rakesh.
Thank you.
And another person who was associated with us from the very beginning is from Italy. She is Anna Maria Dall'Olio. She has published 2 novels, collection of short stories, n number of poetries, plays, and whatever genre in literature, she have attempted that and has been successful. So I would gladly welcome Anna Maria Dall'Olio to present her poem, Blue Climax.
Good evening. So, a poem. Blue climax, time to time, shocks the shade streams from sky, stones that break through to thunder. Along beaches, always rolling, history, no sight of what's ahead, turning fast, always looking, freedom, trouble and passion, pure silver, super ego roots, limit points all around. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anna.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Now I would be very glad to invite a new person to our magazine. She has recently published a poem with Litterature RW. She is from Bosnia and Herzegovina. Her name is Emina Delilovic Kevri. Maybe my pronunciation may not be correct, but still, I welcome Emina to present her poem, Sleight of Closeness. I think she is online. Please unmute your mic.
Do you hear me now? Do you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, we hear you.
The sigh of closeness. In my black coat with deep pockets, I will carry hundreds of little white buttons. A man who has a constellation sized amongst his eyelids should cry over the failing uterus of darkness in the corner of our street. I will approach him with a desire to write a song about closeness, right under the shadow that sinks its legs on the moon and delivers the pain. Let's connect all ends of the road, and we shall receive defeat, he says while he touches my eyes, nose, lips, tongue with his fingers. You will be left alone and with no cry. Aleph is an artist who has nothing to say anymore. He will say before he falls asleep in my lap. My eyes won't close down. My buttons are glued to the tiresome galaxy. Our fictional children happily observe the unusual sigh of closeness from their window. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
There is one person who is very eager and very interested to participate with us.
I'm glad to be here with you.
That is Santiago P. Lafania from Philippines. He has been doing continuous follow-up for this program. And he is with the poem, "If the universe is on your side, step back." He's a bilingual poet in English and his regional language, I think, Pangasinan. Is it your regional language?
No, I will be reading in English, and Pangasinan is a regional language, one of the 175 languages in the Philippines.
Oh, very great. And he's an author of 6 poetry collections also. So I welcome Santiago to present his poem, "If the universe isn't on your side, step back."
Thank you. If the universe isn't on your side, step back. When fate appears to frown and all is dire, step back. Take a breath and calm the fire. It is not yielding to the God's decree, but wisdom's call to master destiny. Oh, be resilient and resourceful too. Never let defeat's shadow fall on you. To understand the universe's grand plan, a new perspective indeed aids a man. Be humble and dare reality's face, and with renewed vigor, run the race. For though the road may be long, rough, and steep, a wise and steadfast heart will onward keep. So let us not despair when faced with strife, but rise to meet the challenge of life. There's actually a second part of this, and allow me to read this short continuation. It's a sonnet also, written during the peak of COVID pandemic. Pink supermoon illuminates the sky. Tonight I'm taking off my horned casque, devour the distant orb with my mind's eye, or fashion it into a Dali mask. Oh, this persistent existential dread restrains the discourse of isolation. This pandemic rage blazing in my head, creating a Slavoj Zizek-like fiction. In the meantime, back to genre bending. The main streets and avenues are empty. My gander and I are philandering as days go by like a silent movie. I will see you then when the curve is flat and earth is greener when I'm standing at. Thank you so much.
Good. Nice.
Now we have Rahunul Hoque of Bangladesh with his poem "After 19 Years." He started writing poems at a very small ages. And he has published many books, many poems in many journals. And he is one of our well-wisher, reader, and a contributor to our magazine. I welcome Rahunul Hoque to present his poem "After 19 Years."
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, I cannot operate my camera, and so I cannot be visible. I don't know why. Perhaps some technological problem. Anyway, I'm reciting my poem "After 19 Years." 19 years have gone. Still, I recall the day I saw you. It was sweltering summer, the park, street, city center. Oh, a beautiful look. Flowers bloomed at large. Insects, as pilgrims, circled around an oozing jackfruit. and the southern breeze induced afternoon siesta. It was then I discovered you in a dream that never allowed me to nod off anymore. 19 years have gone, still in summer rain. I hear the jingling of your bracelets. The petrichor reminds me of the lost fragrance coming of your cascading hair. I chased for long. As soon as the rain stops, the city is reborn with the peaches and cream complexion that only you had on earth. 19 years have gone. Your image, mingling with the twilight, is the very image reflected in ocean, the ocean that I have sailed throughout life to find a place to cast anchor. 19 years have gone. There is no end of the ocean. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Nice.
Thank you, Rahanul. But we missed your video. Next time, we'll try to see you reciting.
Okay, of course. Yes, thank you. I don't know why it's happening. Thank you very much.
Next, I would like to welcome Shafin of Bangladesh. She was with us in the beginning as a contributing editor. And after that, when she went for PhD, she took a break. She's a poet, writer, translator, and also an editor of an international literary magazine, Trivandrum Review. I welcome Shafinu to present her poem, Trauma.
Thank you so much. Trauma. No new mask to wear. When I stand in front of the mirror, only the pain of lost memories touches my skin. There only remains some scattered stains of blood. Our voice resonates the distance between two continents, and we can't whistle away our stillness. And yet, love is a sleepless snake that lies awake within the sleep of my sleep. Thank you.
I could not see Mashura Irgasheva of Uzbekistan. Is she here? So next poem was from Jake Berry. I'm not seeing him also. David Bahar is also not seen. Antonis is also not seen. Josie is there. Okay. Josie D from Canada. She has been with us for a long time. She is also a well-wisher, publishing a lot of poems with us. And this time, she is with a poem, A Jar of Fireflies. Welcome, Jyoti D.
Thank you so much. My poem is from my book called A Jar of Fireflies with the same homonymous name. And it's a poem about my mother who passed away 4 years ago. But luckily she got to see the poem. I will always remember my mother on an August night, as if every other moment before or after had coalesced into one giant memory of her. crux of all maternal symbology. Moon and stars leavening in the indigo belly of summer. A fecundity of fireflies fluttering invisible flurries of wings glowed a soft, slow magic. Caught glints of her earrings amidst black curls falling upon her Renoir print green flower dress. In the growing shadows, she told me things. I listened, watching her every move as she watered geranium and basil in brick-edged garden beds. Petals pungent of earth, scent galvanizing time and space, Proust-like, involuntary, etching the wonder of the two of us as we stood in some primordial paradise, while all around a universe of galactic stardust revolved, enveloping us. And from the microcosm, new like undiscovered dreams, thousands of fireflies promised illusions of ageless never-nevers. She was my planet. I was her small moon. Together in our little garden, snug as the snails, safely at a distance from both birth and death. For one eternal moment, we stood certain upon that soil of lettuces and pale petunias, while far off the streets buzzed with their cacophony of cars and voices. Up close, behind the laurel leaves, a scarab tucked away its iridescent wing, and the fig tree curled a webbed leaf around its purple fruit. My mother's shadow held me close too, like a hushing, a silent belonging to the earth, to the blood that bore us, like everything and everyone before and after. The earth holding us up like a new crop for a seemingly endless season. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you.
Beautiful.
I know everyone is eagerly waiting for the award announcement. K M Anthru International Literature Award. We started it in 2021. So we will take a short break from the poetry session. We will announce the awards and then we will go back to the poetry section. So to welcome the events, I invite Mini Shajil to have a welcome speech on behalf of M Anthru Foundation and Litterature Redefining World.
Honorable dignitaries and guests, Litterature Redefining World is an online publication which started its operation in August 2020 with K M Anthru as its managing editor. The inspiration behind this was K M Anthru. He had an unfulfilled dream of becoming an editor of the magazine. The thought of Literature Redefining World aroused to fulfill this dream. Add to add, he passed away on 19 December 2020. He was the man who loved literature, lived through it, and died for it. In memoriam and as a mark of the respect towards him, we instituted K M Anthru International Literature Prize. This is the second venture from Literature Redefining World to acknowledge and honor the great masters of literature and art who dedicated their lives to literature and contributed comprehensively throughout. The chair of the jury, which evaluated the nominations for K M Anthru International Literature Prize 2022 is Shajil Anthru, and the members of the jury are Maria, Nandita and Maria Mickiewicz. The finalists for this prize are Ivan, Antonino, and Rosa Jamali. Jacoli, Giacomo, Dr. Parvez Ahmad, and other distinguished writers, artists, poets, and well-wishers are here. They are familiar to the literature world. I welcome all of you to the function of K M Anthru International Literature Prize announcement session. Thank you.
Thank you. Now it's time for prize declaration. And as a jury chairman, I am interested to declare the prize. I hope that three the finalists are here. Antonino, I can see. I hope Ivan is also here. And Rosa Jamali is also here, I think. Right?
Hello, everybody. Yeah, I'm here.
Respected dignitaries.
Unfortunately, the network is a little bit slow. I cannot connect it via camera, but I think you have my voice.
We can hear your voice. We can understand. In the first edition itself, Litterateur RW proclaimed that this is going to be an universal magazine in the group. We consider simply one and not to be discriminated over languages, countries, race, creed, color, or gender. At that time, we invited you to appreciate unfolding a new world, untold and fresh. We promised a festivity of ingenuity in every issue, and we believe we kept our promise also. Also, we believe literators have a lot of things to do in the society also. The award was made up because of the magazine Literature Redefining World, founded by Late K M Anthru, who gave importance to the literature which made a positive impact to the society. The history behind it was explained by me, so I am not going into that details. During 2022, M Anthru Foundation and the jury members were stunned to see a lot of entries. So we have to do a thorough screening, thorough reading, thorough study. We didn't expect these much nominations, to be very frank. However, we have now 3 golden personalities shortlisted by us. This doesn't mean that others who are not shortlisted are not good literators. They are also very good writers, very good artists, and valuable to the literature world. However, our shortlist is Antonino Condalino from Italy, Grand Alvarez from United States, and Rosa Jamali of Iran. As Mini told, apart from me, the jury members were Maria Mickiewicz from United Kingdom, who is a poet, writer, editor, translator, and publisher. Her experience is vast. Nandita, she is from India. Started her career as a freelance journalist and worked with Economic Times and many other journals. Wrote in many books, published many books also. She is also a good writer, good reader, a good critic. Third person is our contributing editor, Małgorzata Borzeszkowska. Commonly we call her Nandita, difficult to pronounce. She's our contributing editor and is associated with us from the beginning. She's a poet. I will call her a silent poet. With more than 20 years of experience, 20 years with poetry. And she has published a lot of books and have a lot of awards to her credit. K M Anthru International Literature Prize are awarded to the great master of literature and art who dedicated their life to literature and contributed comprehensively. Last year, you know, we had given that award to Jack Polly from California. This time, finding that it is very difficult to shortlist, we are here to announce 3 different awards. K M Anthru International Literature Prize 2022 for comprehensive contribution to literature goes to M Anthru from California, United States. K M Anthru International Prize 2022 for redefining literature is for Antonino Panjalino, who lives in Masada, Italy. K M Anthru International Literature Prize for redefining society for Osa Jamali from Tehran, Iran. I will give a brief note how we come to this conclusion. For comprehensive contribution for literature, the jury found that after 1970s, Ivan turned seriously to writing poetry. Now at 83, 84, he has had a career which began in brilliant, surveyed, and then went in a constantly changing, constantly inventing way to work which made it some sort of connection to the earlier, but moves far beyond anything that can be categorized in any such terms. His work is wide-ranging, restless, full of references. It shows author's learning is immense, but also immediate. Maybe we can call astonishing. His work communicates before it is fully or indeed sometimes even partially understood. Long literary journey he had. And so we thought the comprehensive contribution to literature must be for Ivan from California. As far as Antonina Condalino is concerned, the jury found that the poetic collective group Noyo Ribedia, born in 2010, from the idea of poet Antonino, made poetry popular, and the outcome reflects the mind and heart of the common people. The literary writing of the group strongly oriented to poetry as a privileged means of communication and proceeded by anonymization. In the historical, cultural, and social context of the post-Fordist capitalist modernization, the goal of this group was to give a critical and a satirical voice to the political poem, varying in meter and rhythm, as an alternative to intimist lyricism. His work also demonstrates the strength and power of a literature to change a world. That's why we acknowledge him and honor him by bestowing him the M Anthru International Prize 2022 for redefining defining literature to Antonio Cantar. In the case of Rosa Jamali, jury found that she, through broken syntax and wordplay, described a surreal world which words have lost its meaning and have become jumbled objects within contemporary everyday life. She adapted a kind of music from classical Persian poetry and embedded it with natural analysis of speech, long and short sentences. She creates some layers of intertextuality with Persian mythology and mysticism. Above all, the jury like to point out two works of her: Making Coffee to Run a Crime and The Shadow. These two works emphasize that Rosa Jamali is trying to create a world with no discrimination of any sort, which is also the motto of our magazine. Extremely talented and bold enough to write about the sufferings of others, about the wrong things that happen to a society, leading to a society to think about the change that made her won this award, K M Anthru National Literature Prize 2022 for redefining society. I'm sure her play Shadow will survive the time, and even after 50 years or 100 years, that play will be relevant to the society. If the society cannot change in some one way or other way, she is a change maker. So these three personalities are very much talented and cannot be exempted from given awards from our side. That's why we thought we will give or acknowledge and honor these three personalities during this year. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I welcome one of our jury member, Maria Mickiewicz, who will deliver a keynote address. I hope she is here. Can you please unmute your mic?
Now, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Yes,
can
you
hear
hear
you.
me? Thank you very much.
Yes.
First of all, I would like to welcome all of you. It is a great honor to be member of this fantastic and great community of poets from all over the world. It's been a great pleasure to be with you for so many years, because it's all started many years ago when you established the journal many years ago in India. I became just a member of the poets group, and then we became friends, and then I became a member of the jury, which is a great pleasure and honor. And I would like to thank you, first of all, to you, because you are a great person. You must have a lot of energy for all of those projects which you are doing. And congratulations with your PhD as well, which you got recently. And I would like to thank all of your readers. Your poems are very moving and interesting. And it was a pleasure to read all of you. And I hope you will be writing more and more and publishing with your permission with the journal. And it was a great idea to establish such a great award. We've been working together as a member of the jury for a few months. It wasn't easy actually to find a proper people for this award, because there was 59 nominees for this jury for this year. It started in, maybe it was, I will take only my card just to remember well. It all started in September 2022 and October 2022. And we received 59 nominees for the award. It was a lot. But everything was well organized, I should say. We didn't have any problem with the organization. And shortlisted nominees will meet with the minimum criteria which were selected. Details were shared with jury members by email for the preliminary evaluation and further shortlisting. After a long selection procedure, we were able to recognize the gold 3 nominees, which you already mentioned, which of course you already presented those writers. And I should say that this is actually we should continue the idea, because this is very important in our world, that we can get together just as writers, as a poet, as a publisher as well, to be together in one place like this, internet, but in the same time, we are all writing different things. We are living in different places as well, and different surroundings. So we are presenting different poetry as well, which is very interesting to listen to. So I think we should write, we should celebrate all of nominees, and congratulations all of you, first of all. I hope you will enjoy your award. You will do more with your writings and enjoy with your friends and family. And I hope we will meet together again soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now we have another jury member here, Nandita De. I would request her to say a few words.
Hello, everybody. I hope you can hear me. My respect to Mr. K M Anthru Senior, because we are all here celebrating his life, his works, his thoughts, and his philosophy. And I really admire Shajil for being an exemplary son and carrying on his father's work in such an excellent way and in such an expansive way. I was completely taken aback and surprised when I was asked to be a jury member for such a luminous organization. But it was an enthralling experience, because I got to see the cross-section of voices from across the world. There were people of different ages. From different places, from the remotest places to the more prominent ones, and also different genders. And I was struck by the strong uniformity of consciousness which writers and thinkers have. So it was really very invigorating. And I also got to know the diverse writers who are writing today, the contemporary writers, and how they are different from earlier times. And that was very interesting because literature, like anything, has to progress. And as you can see, there are only 3 members who have been selected for the award. They have done pathbreaking work, and their work has a lot of, they're way ahead of their time, and they are doing things which we would all love to follow. They are a little complex. Their thought process and their situation and their connections, we have to go in very deep to understand the context of their works, but it is really worth the exercise. And I congratulate each and every person who were nominated, all 139 of them. And we had several long lists and several short lists, and every one of them were very interesting. I hope from the jury we have done justice, and I congratulate everyone. Everybody's poems today are very, very interesting, and I know we will hear some more great speeches today. Maybe Shajil will give me a chance to recite one poem of mine, who I haven't registered for it, if there is time. And congratulations once again, and thank you all for coming from all over the world with all your different time zones and different climates and situations. And happy spring, happy writing, happy new year, and let's meet much more.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. There is no need for permission from me, but this magazine is not mine alone. It's yours also. All the literators in the world own this magazine.
Thank you so much.
Now I would welcome our first award winner, Jack Foley from California. We have a felicitation speech upon these 3 awards and give his comments. His comments are very valuable, and we take it very seriously also. Welcome, Mr. Jack Foley, sir.
This is Jack Foley, and I'm going to read to you a little speech I wrote for the K M Anthru award ceremony in 2023. My thanks to everyone involved in Litterateur RW, a wonderful magazine that has taken on the mostly thankless task of defending and presenting the ancient art of poetry, an art that goes back at least to the point when people emerged from the sea. How long ago was it when the New York Times decided to stop reviewing poetry? The philosopher Martin Heidegger wrote of the forgetfulness of being. We might speak of the forgetfulness of poetry, which is indeed part of the forgetfulness of being. How many people these days even know what this art is? How many believe that poetry and song lyrics are identical, that there is nothing beyond the lyric to poetry? To take only my tradition, what Chaucer did, what Spenser did, what Milton did, what Pope did, what Byron did, what Wordsworth did, what Blake did, what Shelley did, what Poe did, what Whitman did, what Emily Dickinson did, what Black Elk did, what Paul Laurence Dunbar did, what T.S. Eliot and Ezra Pound did, what Gertrude Stein did, what William Butler Yeats did, what Eleanor Wiley did, what William Carlos Williams did, what James Joyce did. All that is forgotten in the rush to get the news, but not the new, to discover what is current, but not what is foundational. In an organization like Litterateur RW, all that is changed. To redefine world is to redefine poetry too, to understand the depths at which poetry encounters us. This is a recent poem of mine. I called it The Dictionary. He spent his life in the compilation of a dictionary. This dictionary was an endlessly incomplete record of everything he had said, and everything that had been said to him, and every thought he had, and everything he had read and seen. It was all words, nothing but vowels and consonants, words seen, words spoken, words he had dreamed on endless nights when his thoughts turned restlessly, half-forgotten words. It was a book and not a book. His word for it was poetry. But really, it was nothing but a dictionary, the words that had clung to him as he lived, among flowers and trees and cities and people and air and rain and grief and joy and the sudden understanding that all words led out of themselves into nothing, into the way reality was present to the endless fountain of his mind. That's my poem. Thank you for listening.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm Antoninos Cotilianos niece, and you would like to say something, if it's possible. What?
He has unmuted his mic.
What?
Jack Foley is online and he has unmuted his mic.
It's unmuted. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm Marta, and my grandfather would like to say something, if it's possible. Hi, can you hear me?
Martha, we can hear you.
You cannot hear me?
Give me a moment. We would like to take a comment from Jack Foley. After that, we will go to the awardees. Okay? Jack Foley, sir, can you hear me? Okay, I think so we will go to Milano to speak their written speech. Martha, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, let Antonella return speak now.
Okay. He's saying that he's happy to be with all of you, like old friends, that they are meeting each other after a long time. A little bit older, but young in the mind. Do you want him to read his poem or the speech?
As you wish. If you want to recite a poem, we can. If you want to speak, you can speak.
Ok, se vogliamo leggere, possiamo leggere. Se vogliamo... Entrambe. So, my grandfather made a speech and he would like me to read it. So, the ubiquity of our thematic meeting of today is in the hour of a burning world. It's for me and for all of us, I guess, the choral voice of the absence. The absence who is active and cruel real ones. Allow us to be present in and with them as brother and fellow partisans. The participants who comrades on the road, so no present, are no less so in the virtual reality and the real truth of poetry. The vital breath of the poetry that breaks down the barriers that separate peoples and singularities. The bright wind that pierces the walls of separation and inhabits the border as a new common utopian dimension. The universal imagination. Virtual ties have such a potential realities that they know it's impossible to transform into the being of things and events that become concrete manifestations. With all this, of course, and not least, is before our eyes and work, thanks to all of the creative intelligence of the K M Anthru International Literature Prize 2022. Equally singular intelligence and singularities that shows freedom in togetherness of otherness. Singularities who I'm thanked by one. I would like to do it in their language, but I cannot because I don't know the language. But I know that they know one language, the language of the poetry. And this, I know to be a force that allows us equally to enter into communication, in the doing and being proper to the language of poetic singularities like Ivan Arguez of the United States and Rosa Jamali of Iran, with whom I share the beautiful international award. Poets who make the world free. so in need of the sign and word of becoming revolutionaries to redefine the world. Men and women fighting for an alternative world, the world of poetry, and real truths, but everyone's truths. The truths of way, acting without acting, moving and moving us to permanently ban inequalities. Injustice and wars of all kinds by closing them with this word. Of the pen to paraphrase of a poetic text by Shajil Anthru. My pen it turned to be a sword, but the sword finally turned towards me and pierced my heart. And now he wants to read his poem. And then if you can read it in English.
Okay. Go on.
The roads of the past. Le radici del passato. The poem is The Roots of the Past. Le radici del passato.
Che è stato pubblicato sulla rivista.
And it's published in the magazine.
È tempo di uccidere l'illuminazione, la luce che ti nasconde le stelle, la trasparenza degli assassini, il funerale della lingua dei sogni. Farfalle, vorrei tossiche i poeti, rane, pescatrici in agguato e scanto, già vestite e pronte all'inganno, la verità piegata nello straniero. Code di rospo e l'icone del tempo, la potenza del falso ha una verità. In loro i ricordi del futuro, ma senza lo sguardo obliquo sul fisso dell'idea. Le radici del passato porgono il sisma, rizomi e vigili il guado e la danza, e terra di morte apparente, l'Etna, il mio vulcano, i suoi quasar di lava. Ora devi dire che legge lui il testo.
Can you read it in English for him? He would like you to read it in English. Lo sto cercando.
Just a moment.
Un momento.
ideas you study. The fruits of the possibility, right? Mother? The poem is Roots of the Past, right?
What?
Roots of the Past.
Yes.
So I said that the poem is English for our roots of the past. It's time keeping like the time like the light that hides the stars from us, the transparency of the plural of the language of the I would like five dogs, butterflies, non-fish, and just disguise and see the good value of life and was a mountain of time, the power of body memories of absolute on a point of life. The roots of the past, I don't want to man, always land of America, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, and now you're welcome.
What?
Ivan, welcome Ivan. Our vice speaker, to have a small speech here online now.
I cannot hear you.
This is Jack Foley, and I'm going to read to you a poem written by my dear friend Ivan Arguelles for the K M Anthru Award Ceremony 2023. The poem is called Award Ceremony. Gone through all possible conclusions, wary of the vast water wheel above, and the serpents gliding out of the crevices of sleep mid-afternoon, and books open wide with the pronunciation guide, and always the struggle with memory. Was it only yesterday the earliest verses flowered in their small Latin? And today all those that mattered, like the scudding clouds above, have been neatly folded into evening's literary contest and soon forgotten. Was I one of them, recalling summers that lasted an eternity and a half, as long as the dragonfly's brief career over the impeccable running brook, where I leaned to see my face reflected, features already unrecognizable and racing past the finish mark. That was by Ivan Arguelles, and he's thinking about his whole life. Thank you for listening.
Ivan, can you hear me?
No, because there is another sound in the background. Antonino said that sometimes he would like to come to visit you in India.
Welcome.
With me.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Ivan, can you hear me?
What?
Jack Foley, sir, can you hear me? California, both are having problems right now.
No?
The audio is not doing too well.
I think we can't hear.
Someone audio is creating a bad noise. Maybe it should be muted.
Can everyone mute their mic now?
Yes. Now it is okay.
Jack Foley, sir, can you hear me?
I think he can't hear.
Van, sir, can you hear me? Anyway, I will try to contact them over phone. Meanwhile, we will have Rosa Jamali to have a word with us.
Hello. Hope you have my voice. Have you got my voice?
Yes.
Okay. I'm really honored to be listed among some great writers. I really enjoy reading Antonio's poetry. I read lots of his poetry on Facebook and in the magazine, and I really enjoyed others' writing. Also in this session, everybody's poetry was really great. And I should say that you are taking lots of good steps to introduce world literature in your magazine. This is really interesting. And I met lots of great poets, and I read them while I was reading each issue of your magazine. This is really great. And I should say that somebody should give you an award for what you are doing and this kind of step you're taking, which is really appreciated. And you have different writers from different languages. This is really great that we meet Russians, Polish, Indians, poets from Spain, Europe, East European poets, and I really enjoyed reading them. And then about literature, I should say that geography matters. You know, what you write here is different from what you write in Europe and the United States. What you write in Middle East is a little bit different. So I hear my voice has an echo. So what you write, perhaps my early poetry was much into that kind of playing with words in some ages of Persian literature, like in Rumi's poetry, we have a lot of wordplays. And then my play and this long dramatic poem, Making Coffee to Run a Crime Story. In these two pieces, I worked on women who became victims of society, and I tried to delve into their social and psychological problems and tried to create a kind of metaphor of them, not just finding one example of them. I tried to just change the situation to a sort of metaphor, which you can just communicate with that wherever you live. And so this doesn't say that my woman, the character I've created in my play or in Making Coffee to Run a Crime Story, which is a long dramatic poem, this character is not just an Iranian character. This character could come from anywhere in the world. So perhaps the initial problem was from my own environment, but I tried to expand it and try to create a kind of metaphor. And sometimes, you know, when you read literature, you say, okay, this is Russian, this is Latin American, this is Spanish, this is French. So they have their own features. This is Persian literature, this is Arabic literature. They have their own features, but first, when we want to get familiar with Latin American, so we read Garcia Marquez and that kind of magic realism, we enjoy it. And then we try to put we try to be that kind of character. We sympathize with that character. So actually, I think international literature should cross the borders and communicate. So this is really important, and I see that the authors you published and the authors I got familiar with in the list you created, they all had these features and I really enjoyed them. And then I want to congratulate you on your PhD and on whatever you've done, this kind of actually movements you're doing. And then I want to wish a very better future for you and for international literature and for our friends here. That's it from me. Can end it with a short poem or perhaps a piece of my play. I read the short poem in English and the play, that part of play, a short part of that in Persian. So this is one of my love poems. Suppose that I'm inevitable. Suppose that I'm inevitable. Even the veins of my right hand cross you from the drafts. On my smooth nails, the breeze which is not from the sky is curving you. Either the veins of my right hand is running short on my paws. Rolled along my fingers, vanished, not repeated forever. For the second and a half since the first. The veins of my neck cross you all. If the warmth of my 10 fingers seized on your torn pieces of bread, all is over with the dead ends, alleys, all in oblivion. And then if you would like, I can read some lines of my play in Persian. زن دوم، اصلا میتونیم همه چیز رو نادیده بگیریم. زن اول، چی رو نادیده بگیریم؟ زن دوم، همه اونچه که وجود داره رو. زن اول، مگه میشه؟ زن دوم، ساکت باش از صدای بارون لذت ببر. زن اول، دیگه نمیتونم. زن دوم، میتونیم همه چیز رو انکار کنیم. زن اول، من نمیتونم تو رو انکار کنم. میفهمی؟ خیلی دلت میخواد که همه چیز رو به اسم خودت ثبت کنی یا اینکه سایه خودت رو با تیر بزنی؟ خیال میکنی با تمسخر. زن دوم، میترسی به جای من اشتباهی گرفته بشی؟ صدای پارس سگ. زن اول، تا حالا 11 نفر اشتباهی گرفته شدن، چه فرقی میکنه 12می کی باشه؟ زن دوم، به تمسخر، ما کاملا شبیه هم هستیم. That was all from me. Thank you, everybody. I really enjoyed the session.
Thank you. Nice one. Good.
Thank you all. I contacted Jack Foley. He said that there is a high background disturbance, so his voice is not getting over. So please, all of you, mute your mic. Let me try once again to get Jack Foley here. Jack Foley, sir. Hello, sir. Mute you. Can you hear me, Jack, sir? Hello? Ivan? Sir, can you hear me? I think still there is a problem. So we will continue with the poetry session. If Mashgura from Uzbekistan is here.
Vorrei dire una cosa a Rosa e Jamali.
He wants to say something to Rosa Jamali.
Sì?
Okay.
A Milano
In
c'è
Milan,
in febbraio una iniziativa di poeti,
in Milan there is on February there is
di poeti e
a
poetesse
group of poetry
con poesie
with poem
a favore, a sostegno
that are favored to
delle lotte delle donne iraniane.
the fight of the Iranian women.
In queste poesie c'è anche la mia poesia
In this poetry there is also his poem.
dedicata alle donne
It's for the women,
iraniane.
Iranian women.
Poi farò avere
Then it's gonna
il
give.
link video
Then it's gonna give the link of the videos
a Shajil
to Shajil
per farlo conoscere a Rosa.
to make you to introduce him to Rosa.
Grazie.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's great. I will connect with you via email or Facebook.
So now we will go to other poets. Jyotirmaya Thakur is here.
Yes.
I invite you to present something.
Yeah.
Poetry or speech.
Yes, thank you so much for the invitation. It's a privilege and honor to be invited at this on this occasion on 26th of January, India's freedom hoisting of the flag, or unfurling rather. Okay, poetry I think is a bridge. It's a bridge, a witness of the time. And a genuine poem transcends reality and reaches a higher, a more spiritual level. And yet one cannot expect the modern poet to change the world, but he can be a contemporary guidance, using his poetry as a lantern, a tube to find in the brainwashing light of so-called social media and multinationals, the illuminating light in these modern times plagued by a handful of shamelessly rich, of liars, of demagogues and fanatic extremists. Being a refugee for a long time and later a migrant of a different country, a Western world, I'm going to give you a perspective of an Indian, the feeling of an Indian. Who am I today? I'm not a classic of super God's creation, rather a parable of tears unseen. In the rhythm of my free verses of mighty sea, formless as the clouds in the itinerary of the cacophony. My brown color is shunned, but not ignored by many. I abide within myself whose colors have worn away. I abide within myself whose colors have worn away. I wish I could read my critic's mind of hostility as an immigrant of lost identity in translation. I'm a stranger to readers with boundaries created. The cyclic curiosity goes and eternally. No one knows what it's like to be lost in the synthesis between dualism of humankind and monoism of my maker. There is nothing as genuine as me, although relatively deceptive. Maybe I am written as an ethical effect of modern artifact, or just replicated from the lives of others who came here before me. I feel vague in my abyss of deep, deep core. I came into the world as a drop of water. I accept no suppression and will evaporate soon, yearning to create a vigorous triple of freedom. In the majestic ocean and into the eternity of water. Thank you. This is my small poem of a refugee to an immigrant in a very modern, progressive world, accepted, but still shunned. Thank you. Thank you for listening very much.
Thank you. Now we have Dr. Pervez here. I invite him to talk to the group or present a poem.
Thank you. Thank you, Shajil Anthru. I'm privileged to be here with all of you, so many eminent poets from across the world. "26 January is a red letter day in contemporary India, so we celebrate it as a Republic Day of India. So greeting to all from my side, from India, to all of you. I would like to share my poem. Anthru, should I introduce myself in a few sentences?
I think you are familiar to all. Anyway, introduce.
Okay. Presently, I am working as an editor in NCERT, National Council of Educational Research and Training. This is my brief introduction. And I have been writing since 1980, since when I was a student of class 10. So, okay, so the title of my poem is, should I read latest one or my favorite one? Tell me.
The shortest one.
Latest, okay. The title of my poem is Peace. Why peace? Why not a war? Why peace? Why not a war? Peace leads to heaven, whereas war breaks hell. On the innocent people who live in ignorance, the culprits take shelter because they are alert about the retaliation of war. This land is already full of blood sheddings due to natural calamity and man-made global warming, which are destroying the ecosystem, devastating our living environment. War is no solution. War is always fought at the cost of others. The non-aligned people respecting to all. The war mongers hold them hostage. They want ransom money. They extort energy from peace-loving to expand their factory of war. We need peace to nip the bud, to stop warmongers, to proceed further, to stop them from creating the hell on the earth. Peace is essential to defeat war. That is why we need peace, not a war. Thank you.
Once again, I'm trying with Jack Foley. Sir, Jack Foley, sir, are you available? Sir, are you available? It's very, Ivan and Jack Foley cannot hear anything. So I shall, he had sent me a message. I will read for you, for Jack. One moment. Meanwhile, we will go to Kasi Rafi. Kasi Rafi. Kasi Rafi from Bangladesh.
Okay, now do you hear me, sir?
We hear you.
Okay, thank you very much. Actually, you don't know, I write a story and novel. I'm not a poet, but just honor and remain with you. I had to translate one of my poetry, which I wrote for my book. So I'm reciting that one. And I'll ask your forgiveness. Just after reading this one, I may have to leave because I have a program. Just I'm waiting and to honor you. Just that's all. So, sir, the name of my poetry was "Once You Will All Hate with Your Whereabout." So many times I have been to you. I walked a path scattered over and over again, repeatedly several times. How often have I visited you? Not a whole myself, wandering by foot, but much more time inwardly to you. Many times with the rainfall on the body and moss on the heart, trampling the wavy falling leaves, wild blossoms. There was a burn, oh, as a witness. Lots of time have I gone to you. Those fossil eyes of yours, society, family, and under the tag of aristocracy, their wrapped false eyelashes. Just a moment. The color of your skin hasn't fully brightened since then. A lot of times I have seen you still sky after sky, longing for your bouquet that has pervaded the world after the sky. There's that the pond of lotus leaves. So many times I have been there at your eyelids in the field filled with petals. ওকে তোমার যখন ধরেনি কল খোলে রং, কত যে বার দেখেছি তোমায় লুকিয়ে লুকিয়ে, জগৎ মাতানো তোমার ঘ্রাণে, আকুল আকাশের পরাকাশ, আকাশের পর ওই যে পদ্ম পাতার পুকুর, আমি কতবার গিয়েছি তোমার চোখের পাতার পাপড়িময় মাঠে মাঠে. You know not how many times I have gone with cloud and with thunder light to you. You just do not know. So many times I held in my heart the mango buds, blizzards, nature's lush of greenery just for you, to make your skin colorfully brighten. So many times I put my hand to the fire's hornet. How many times have I prayed to the inside stem of a plantain tree? I drank simply for you by sucking the juice of the wildflower. Once you will all fit with your whereabout, by then I will become a fossil. You will stare at the scar on my innocent footsteps. There from autumn to the rainy, from sodden plains to twilight sky. Never you knew. You were the only option in my life. Thank you.
Now we have one more poet here, Ray Vichekar. I welcome Ray Vichekar to recite his poem.
Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me. My name is Ray.
Here.
And my first time with this group, and I'm honored to be here, honored to receive the invitation to be here. And I sincerely appreciate the opportunity to speak and hear everyone else in the group. A couple of things I'd like to read, and I'm just going to start one, and here goes. If you would put your head in the space of dreams. This poem is called Dog Dreams. My buddy lays asleep, curled up, nose to tail, turning on his side, start moving as if running after interest. No twitching, smelling in his sleep. He is now running away fast, as if now there's a soft yell. I'm looking to see his eyes are still closed. My buddy is still asleep. Perhaps an incomplete dog world, similar to that of which we humans have. Dreaming such complex world, sometimes suddenly to a cold wet. In my dreams, imagery I can't seem to let go made me sit up in the bed, it did. My buddy, also there in that, protecting me against a dire wolf of the same color. My buddy was losing the fight with dire wolf. I could do little to indicate, struggling in my sleep to do something, anything, tossing bed covers asunder, turning over. Both of them were whirling white shapes. The color of a spiritual, yet both were fighting each other, as if to kill the other. The swirling, fighting, fearsome barks and growls, just over there, out of reach, loud, seeming to feel watching this with some fear, pushing for an axe handle, or at the very least, a stout dog to assist me in this fray. Yet I could not find a fearsome tool in the dog seemed again, swirling, tall, placed just for a quick other again, for an advance, bang, beat. These noble people, yes, they were both my intuition, perhaps my rescue, or perhaps to duck in the struggle I entered. The dream had two great dogs. This life translation, touching on a sort of fusion of that fight, using intuition, dexterity. The direwolf, Buddy, and I. One. Thank you very much. I do have time. Sorry?
I will welcome another person, Olga, a poet. Olga, can you hear me? Olga, can you hear me? I'm not sure whether she is hearing me or not. I have 4 messages for all of you. One is Jack Foley has written to me that he was talking, but his sound is not audible to us. Ivan could not hear anything, so that's why he left the program. Anyway, we will have them have their messages or videos after this program, and we will telecast along with this YouTube. Third thing is, I would like to inform you is, all those who have presented poetry here, many of them have sent the text of the poetry to me at litterateurrw@gmail. Those who are sent, please make sure that they send it within 3 days, because in January magazine, we are going to carry those poems. Also within 3 days, we will be giving one more appreciation to the poets who had presented their poems here, poet of the session or the poet of the meet. So there is one thing I have to add. And now we have our contributing editor, Gosia, here. Gosia will be telling the vote of thanks. So Gosia, I welcome you to conclude this session by...
Everybody. Should I do it now? Or can I read my poem also, if possible?
You can read your poem first and conclude the function. I think no one else is there for reciting the poem.
Okay. So, this is the poem because, as you probably know, or maybe you know, I'm Poland, so we have a very hard time now, and just behind our border we've got war, which only a year ago seemed to be impossible, but now it's very difficult to get rid of the subject if we write our poems. So the title of my poem is Such a Pretty Day. It was written in autumn. Such beautiful a day. Mushrooms have already grown. Leaves are falling down. Measles are falling down. We are wading in the fall. Such a beautiful day. We're wading in ashes. We're sliding on blood stains. We are slumping over debris, over rebar. armed with knives, we set off to the forest. After all, mushrooms have grown. Leaves are falling on our heads. Results are on the cities. Trees have been losing their leaves. People are losing their lives. What a beautiful day. What a beautiful sunny day, here and there. On our heads, does autumn fall, straight from the thrones. So this is my poem, not very optimistic, but still. Okay, so can I say thank you now? Is it possible?
Shajil, what about me?
I can't hear you, sorry.
Lucia, that there is another poet waiting for presenting a poem, Antonis Philippis from Greece.
Okay, okay. So I will say my word of thank you after the poem. Okay.
Nandita, what was he trying?
Antonio, hi, my name is Antonio. Welcome
And I can also read that poem.
Oh, right. You want to? So first Angela, then Nandita.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I have the talk. Thank you very much. I'm very glad. Hello, everyone. I'm very glad and honored to be part in this international poetry meeting. I would like to thank you all as the dear editor and president of Litterateur Magazine for all this organization and for the prize, MacArthur International Prize, and I have to congratulate all the winners. My poem is like unspoken words. Those I couldn't say still wait for you. One thought, sealed by my agony, whether they see the light, deny the silence that connect in them for years and there, ready to be led to you, to caress your lips, to creep into your heart, to cry out loud, to hide nothing, to surrender, to withstand. What will they become? Nobody knows. Maybe you send them away. Maybe you scoff at them. Forever hold them inside you. That is what I want. And if you are to throw them, don't. Give them back to me. They are mine. I will gather them, even if it means doing it myself. I said it for so long. I will love you in loneliness. Thank you very much for listening. Many greetings from Athens, Greece. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Nandita?
Okay. Mine is a very
Thank you
simple
very much.
poem.
Thank
It's
you
called
very
The
much
Beach.
for this honor.
My poem is called The Beach. The ball hit me on the head. Startled, I glanced up. The heat had lulled me into a catnap. An apologetic young man charmingly winked. Off duty. Kalangut, that crowded heaven, beach of life. Bathers yelling in glee, sprawling on the silky sand. Deck chairs in rows, crashing waves, high-pitched laughter, strains of music from the shacks. I sat up and watched the beach ball game. Soldiers on a break, laughing and lunging, lunging and laughing. Such joy around everywhere. A deep, deep peace. Smiling faces, excited voice. People from everywhere, remote places of the world. Shacks serving multifarious dishes. Drinks with sensuous names. All tranquil, all happy. No network needed. No dire news to disturb. The law of the sea here, where the sand seduces, surf scintillates, and birds set the pace. Beach life, where the religion is peace, where one bears down to essentials for no armor is needed, where soldiers can relax and forget the horrors, the formidable call of duty, where a game means fun and defeat celebrated with a drink. I see the young faces, joyous, full of life, soaking in the peaceful life, the slow gait, the fancy spread of delectable dishes, the pure air and the rhythmic sounds of the waves. Why only on the beach? Why doesn't this same peace remain everywhere? Why can't people leave prejudice, pride, power, hatred, conspiracy, and exist in harmony? Why do they forget their origins here and remember only that they are on the beach? What makes them forget the strife, the animosity, and recall only the good life? Maybe the answer is in the sea. That great rolling mass of water, that phenomenon of nature rendering man powerless, a minuscule creature who cannot even gauge its sheer depth, the vastness of life it contains, the magical harmony with which it continues its journey through eternity. Maybe it makes a man realize his petty problems and gives him a sense of wisdom, of the greatness of creation and the universe, and reminds him of his real place in the scheme of life. Maybe, at least momentarily, he focuses on enjoying what he's got. Maybe if life was all beach, maybe. Thank you. This is from this book, Zenith of Thoughts by Story Miller.
Gosia, before we wind up, I will ask everyone to on their videos so that I can get a photograph of all the poets present here. We will have a snapshot of everyone right now present here. So please, on your cameras. Okay, Gosia can start. Thanks. Muted. Gosia?
Yeah, I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me well? More or less? Okay, so from the bottom of my heart, I would like to thank all the participants of today's meeting. But first of all, I would like to thank you, Shajil. However, you are the creator and initiator of this wonderful award, which was announced today. Without you, today's meeting wouldn't be possible. Secondly, I want to say that it is a great honor for me to participate in the jury works again. The bigger it is because of the fact that I've had the opportunity to get acquainted with exceptional poets and writers, which was fantastic to me. And I am really happy that you agreed to share your achievements with us. I'd like to congratulate the winners, but I would also like to thank all the candidates to the award. It was a great honor for me and for the entire jury, I suppose. Last but not least, I'd like to thank everyone present and sharing their poetry today. It was a pleasure to listen to you all. Thank you very much. In these turbulent times, poetry gives us comfort and hope for a better time and a better world. Thank you again. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you all. We will meet again soon.
Very good. Bye-bye. Good night to everyone. Thank you, Shajil.
Good night.
Thank you, Basia. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Ciao.
Bye.
Ciao.
Grazie.
Ciao Antonino.
Ciao. Ciao. Speriamo che il mondo prenda esempio di come possono stare insieme pur parlando lingue diverse, frontiere diverse. Si può stare senza la guerra e senza la violenza. Questo è il mondo che io voglio quando scrivo le mie cose in poesia, con i miei pensieri. E vorrei condividerli con tutti voi. E grazie per avermi onorato di quanto mi avete dato in amicizia, e spero che ci possiamo vedere anche sempre in divinamente a casa nostra e lontano da casa nostra, tutti insieme. È un altro mondo. Vediamo quello che ci può dare di potenza. Grazie a tutti e buonanotte.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Nice job.